See, I know you know what happened. Corey, Diddy. Fuck you, Sean. Both of y'all. I got you, bitch. I told you. Fuck you. He's a gay porn star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell. I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. Fuck you! You fucking CI bitch!
Let me tell you, Jaguar Wright just came for Diddy's neck, and she ain't holding back when news of Diddy's arrest hit the streets. Jaguar was ready with the clapback around the music world. This ain't your average celeb drama. It's about to get real messy now. If you don't know Jaguar Wright, let me put you on. She's a soul singer who's worked with some big names, but she's even more famous for spilling tea and calling out industry folks. When Jaguar talks, people listen. CZ. She don't play the way Jaguar is coming at Diddy. You think she's been waiting years to let loose? She's got some things to say, and trust me, it's about to shake up the whole game. The tea is piping hot, and Jaguar's serving it up with no filter. You ain't ready for what's coming next.
I don't know what it's going to do. I know what they're intending for it to do. I can tell you what I'm hoping it will do. Wake people up. Wake up. Too many people were shocked today. Too many. Way too many. I've been saying this for 4 years publicly. Why are you surprised? Why is anyone shocked? Why are people still questioning whether or not Diddy is the devil? Who offers to pay $75 million to get out of jail and they say, yeah, no, not enough? I mean, are we really thinking, everyone's talking about his potential bond fees and set bond amounts? Is nobody not looking at how astronomical these numbers are? When's the last American we heard of that needed more than $20 million to get out of jail?
Right. Takashi offered 3 million on, like for murder charges, and he offered 75 million for sex trafficking.
So if you offer that amount of money and they say, yeah, no, we're going to put you in jail instead, yeah. I really thought they was going to let him go. I had started to think that he was going to get the bond. I was happy with ankle monitor, relinquishing your passport, no G5s, no more freak off, no 2C. I thought that, but no bond, no bail. That's amazing. That just makes me believe in God even more.
Now that they're, he can't get out. How do you
Hey,
think
Angel baby.
Hi, Jag. Uh, how do you think his behaviors are going to change? Since not being released on bond, he has to, stay in jail. How do you think his behavior is going to be moving forward?
Let me be very clear about this. I am not a behavioral specialist or expert in any way, but I am a person who has been around a lot of scumbags, and I got a lot of history. And what I know about scumbags is, caught or not caught, they're not changing nothing. You got to think about all of the 1,001 bottles of baby oil. What sane person does that? Like, why is nobody questioning the sociopathy of a person that's capable of doing all of these things that we're talking about? Now the lawyer is saying that the only reason that what we saw happen to Cassie on camera was because she went through his phone, got mad at what she saw, threw it at the back of his head, and that was his reaction.
Now, before we spill all of Jaguar's tea, let's rewind a hot minute. What's this arrest business that's got everyone's tongues wagging? Girl, the streets are saying Diddy's latest drama might be his biggest yet. What's the real story behind those handcuffs? Let me break it down for you. On March 25th, 2024, Diddy's world turned upside down when the feds came knocking at his doors. And we're not talking about just one door, they hit up his homes in Los Angeles and Miami simultaneously. Talk about a power move. The charges, it's a whole mess of stuff. We're talking sex trafficking, sexual assault, and even some RICO charges thrown in for good measure. If you don't know what RICO is, just think of it as the big guns the feds pull out when they're dealing with organized crime. Yeah, it's that serious. But here the kicker, Diddy wasn't even home when they raided his lock crib. He was chilling in Miami, probably thinking he was living his best life. Little did he know his world was about to come crashing down. The FED scooped him up at the airport, and just like that, the bad boy himself was in custody. Now you might be thinking, didn't Diddy just settle some other lawsuits? And you'd be right, this whole situation comes hot on the heels of him settling with his ex Cassie over some pretty serious allegations. But honey, that was just the appetizer. This arrest is the main course, and it's being served piping hot.
Can you imagine if somebody came up to you during a winter where there was some snow, which rarely happens in Texas, but if somebody came up to you and threw a snowball in your face and you pulled out an AK pow pow, and that was your response? Like, anyone would say that that was insane.
Jay, let me ask you. Just, I'm curious. The average human probably use how much baby oil in a year?
I don't know because I don't use that stuff at all. It clogs up the pores. I use shea butter. But back in the days
Shea butter.
before I made it and got my hands on some good stuff, when I did use baby oil, a bottle would last me at least 4 months.
At least.
Right.
And if I air dried and I did the baby oil in the shower and air dry, I needed even less. That could last up to 5, maybe even 6 months. So, if you're thinking like a vat of baby oil, I mean, this all sounds very college, very frat boyish. Like KY jelly, wrestling t-shirt contests with girls with big breasts. It sounds a lot like that.
Yeah, it
I
could have
just
been.
want to know, were there women in the tub of baby oil or was that all for meat milk? I mean, 1,001 bottles of baby oil, that might be enough to cover TD cakes. I know it's definitely enough to submerge Khaled up to his chest. Now you put him and Rose in there, you might need to go hit another truck.
There probably is a shortage somewhere. Jack, let me ask you. Because
I can
they
think of a
felt.
couple of shortages and a couple rappers' pants. But you were saying,
Let me ask you. They looked at Diddy as one, a possible flight risk, but as two, as he could coerce witnesses. With having $75 million at his disposal, isn't that by nature the exact thing that they're worried about? If you have this much money, that you could make this thing, you could probably make people disappear if you really opted to.
see, this is the thing. That'll just make more trouble. Why would he make more trouble now? He done already bought off and paid off everybody he possibly could. Have you looked at the indictment? Like, he called some witnesses up to 54 times.
Yeah, 200 and how many angels? 200 something people he tried to reach out to.
Like, what are you running, a telethon or a telemarketing agency? Telemarketers don't make that many calls in one day. Or sometimes not even in a week, all depending on you was on that. You down for Diddy? Like, how does that conversation start? Hey, what's up? I really feel bad about that last time I bashed you in the face with a Ciroc bottle. Look, we good? Like,
The streets are buzzing with all kinds of theories. Some are saying this is karma finally catching up to Diddy after years of rumors, and whispers others are shocked, claiming they never saw this coming. But one thing's for sure, the music industry is shook to its core. You see, Diddy's not just any old celebrity. He's been a major player in the game for decades. We're talking about the man who helped shape hip-hop culture, launched careers, and built an empire. And now, he's facing charges that could not only end his career, but could land him behind bars for a long time. But let's keep it real for a second. This ain't Diddy's first rodeo when it comes to controversy. Remember the whole Jennifer Lopez and Shine situation back in the day, or the rumors about his involvement in Biggie's death. Diddy's always managed to come out on top, his reputation barely scratched. But this time, this feels different. The feds don't play around, especially when it comes to sex trafficking charges. And with the RICO charges in the mix, they're basically saying Diddy's whole operation was one big criminal enterprise that's not something you can just brush off with a catchy remix or a flashy music video. And let's not forget about the victims. And all this, if these charges are true, we're talking about real people who've been hurt, exploited, and silenced. It's not just about Diddy's reputation or career anymore, it's about justice. So while Diddy's lawyers are probably working overtime trying to spend this, the rest of us are left wondering, is this the end of an era? Are we watching the fall of one of hip-hop's biggest mogul in real time?
Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
I would say, if those who don't know who Kathy is,
Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby, while he was married to Beyonce.
now
Was
Jack,
it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
do you feel
You should
and
talk that.
do you feel the federal government will probably speak to Jay-Z in regards?
They already have.
Oh,
They talked to him before he made that Super Bowl announcement. Isn't that interesting? He was questioned by the feds before he made the Super Bowl announcement. Blink twice. Oh, this about to get fun for me.
yeah. Let me
There's nothing like, have you ever seen what happens to a rat when it's trapped in a heated environment?
Oh, it'll eat through anything.
Claw eat its way through anything. So I want y'all to imagine this. I got Jay-Z on his back with his stomach exposed. Diddy is the rat that I'm using. And I'm going to take a metal trash can and put it right on Jay-Z's stomach with Diddy right in there. And I'm going to heat that bitch up and see what he eat through. Fuck you, Sean. Both of y'all. I got you, bitch. I told you.
Now I have to ask you a little bit about when you made your comments about Bashir Gray, and now we see that shit, man. Just what are your thoughts? When
And
all this,
if I run into you in public, and when I say Andy, I'm talking about Bashir's mom, I'm going to kick you in your pussy and then I'm going to go to work North Philly style, bitch. Fuck you. And Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay porn star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life, and what you had to do with it. Fuck you! You fucking CI bitch! I'm sorry.
Just when you thought this Diddy drama couldn't get any wilder, and walks Jaguar right with an MC drop moment, she's not just talking, she's putting Diddy on blast like it's her new hit single. What's got Jaguar feeling so bold, and why are her comments making waves even in this sea of scandal? Girl Jaguar Wright ain't playing around. As soon as news of Diddy's arrest hit the streets, she was ready with a clapback that had everyone's jaws on the floor. You know Jaguar, she's always been one to speak her mind, but this time she's taking it to a whole new level. So what's Jaguar saying that's got everyone talking? Well, she hopped on social media faster than you can say bad boy for life and started spilling tea like it was going out of style. She's calling Diddy out for everything from his business practices to his personal life, and she's not pulling any punches. Jaguar's first shot, she straight up called Diddy a slave master and accused him of exploiting artists for years. That's not just shade, that's a whole eclipse. She's talking about how Diddy's been running his empire, saying he's been treating people like property instead of partners. And you know what, some folks in the industry are nodding along like they've been waiting for someone to say it, but Jaguar didn't stop there. Oh no, she was just getting started. She went on to spill some tea about Diddy's personal life, hinting at all kinds of wild behavior behind closed doors. Now, we can't repeat everything she said, this ain't that kind of channel, but let's just say it's the kind of stuff that makes you go, I always had a feeling.
Yeah, no, we gonna pray for Mr. Gray, man. If he needs prayer, I don't even know what's
See,
going
they
on.
trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on.
It's starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and they fucking and she let Charlie tune that boy up on coke, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bashir conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his fucking book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
So Jack, I want to ask you, as the U.S. attorney came on and spoke on the indictment, next to him you see 6 U.S. AUSAs, his assistant attorneys. I believe 1 pregnant, 1 a little older, but all white women. What are your thoughts on that when you see 6 women assisting the U.S. attorney?
A small choruses of Nancy Graces?
Basically.
I think it's fabulous.
Neat.
Sean P. Combs, he's a bad guy. Can't wait to see it.
Would you like a woman to be the judge over this thing?
Oh, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
I don't think that'll happen.
But do you know who I would rather see a woman preside over? Jennifer Lopez. When she's finally held accountable for the part she played in the harm that was put on Tanya Rubin's life.
Do you think they'll bring up charges on Jennifer Lopez?
They better. She committed perjury. And the attorney that was representing the defense side of that suborned perjury. Last time I checked, there's no statute of limitation on perjury. We can start there. Let's bring Jenny to the cell block. She's been to every other block.
Sometimes they'll open up a case to bring light on other cases. Do you feel the Shine, the club night with him and Jennifer Lopez will come back to light?
Oh, absolutely. It has to. It has to.
Now you might be thinking, why should we listen to Jaguar? What does she know? Well, here's the thing. Jaguar's been in the industry for a minute. She's worked with some big names and she's seen things. So when she talks, people listen. And right now, she's talking loud and clear. But it's not just what Jaguar is saying is how she's saying it. She's not holding back one bit. It's like she's been waiting years to let all this out. And now that Diddy's in hot water, she's seizing her moment. Some people are calling her brave, while others are saying she's just trying to get attention. But either way, you can't deny that her words are hitting hard. So what does all this mean for Diddy? Well, it ain't looking good, that's for sure. Jaguar's comments are adding fuel to a fire that was already burning pretty hot with the feds on his case. And now industry insiders like Jaguar speaking out. Diddy's reputation is taking hit after hit. And it's not just about Diddy anymore. Jaguar's words are shaking up the whole industry. People are starting to ask questions. Other big names. Who else might be running their business like Diddy? Are there more stories waiting to come up? It's like Jaguar opened up Pandora's box. And now everyone's wondering what other secrets might spill out. But here's the really Jaguar's bold move might just encourage others to speak up. You know how it is in the industry. People stay quiet cause they're scared of burning bridges. But now that Jaguar's out here speaking her truth, it might give others the courage to do the same. We could be looking at a whole domino effect of people coming forward with their own stories.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say allegedly because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bruh. It made him into a monster, bruh. I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bruh. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bro. You just don't just turn it in a matter of years the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. he led Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Cause you had asked me how I feel, and I'm gonna get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up. It was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct with their behaviors and the things that they've done. He go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He no different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro. He chose to be who he is, and now he gonna learn. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
The streets are talking, and they're saying Jaguar ain't the only one with receipts. Whispers are getting louder, hashtags are trending, and some all-listers are sweating who's next to spill the tea, and why are some celebs acting like their phones just died. Jaguar Wright's takedown of Diddy has set the industry on fire, and everyone's feeling the heat. It's like a match in a room full of fireworks. And now, we're all just waiting to see who's going to explode next. The tea is hot, and it's spilling everywhere. Social media is buzzing like a hive of angry bees. Hashtag Diddy arrested and hashtag Jaguar Wright are trending faster than you can hit refresh. Memes are popping up left and right with people photoshopping Diddy and jail stripes and Jaguar as some kind of truth-telling superhero. It's wild out here, and the internet is loving every second of it. But here's the thing, it ain't just random folks on Twitter stirring the pot. Some big names are starting to weigh in, and chill, it's getting me 50 never want to miss a chance to throw shade, jump right into the fray. He's been posting about Diddy nonstop, acting like Christmas came early. 50 has been waiting years to see Diddy take a fall, and now he's living his best life, watching it all go down. Other celebs are playing it a little cooler, but you can tell they're watching closely. Some are sending out those vague praying hands tweets like they're trying to stay neutral, but still want a piece of the action. Others are suddenly real quiet, probably checking their own closets for skeletons.
Everybody knows at this point in time, Keefe D ain't do it. He's already made it very clear he had a profit deal, which means he's been working with the government all this time. When are people going to start asking how long Diddy and Jay-Z have been cooperating with the government as well? Everybody was cooperating with the feds but them. Doesn't make any sense. What I do know though is that everyone is starting to notice things that they didn't notice 15, 20 years ago. Suge isn't looking like the monster that everyone painted him out to be. And Diddy sure ain't no choir boy. The more we start to uncover things, we're starting to realize that we've whatever we've been led to believe, it's actually the exact opposite. Like I told you, you guys got to talk to that girl Love Jones and talk about her times last summer on a Sprinter van, and where she was put in the van given a drink of DeLeon. She said it didn't feel like an alcohol high. It felt different. She felt tingled all over almost instantly. Y'all need to talk to her. Because she was partying with, I believe, Justin and Christian Combs. This was last summer.
Oh, definitely. Man, with that being said, Jag, this thing right now, Diddy is set to go in front of another judge by tomorrow to speak again on the bond, if he's possible, if he gets out or not. As you stated, you expected him to actually get bond. If he doesn't, and this case takes months to go, will you at least be having somewhat of some type of satisfaction that he at least doesn't get to sit in a mansion or a nice hotel, but he has to now eat cup noodles, sleep on a bunk, get 3-minute showers, live this life based on what is alleged that he was doing this whole time?
The only thing that he could do that would bring me satisfaction is confess to all of his sins and crimes, point out all of his accomplices and his buddies, and create a reparations fund for every victim. That's the only thing he could do that would give me satisfaction. Right now, the thing that's bothering me is that the world, as usual, is taking too long to catch up to the very real truth that I share. And we need to ask ourselves how many victims were still being made victims in the victim-making machine for the past 4 years that I've been telling all of y'all this. See, that's the part that nobody's thinking about. Jaguar Wright was out there yelling and screaming and yelling and screaming, monster, 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 monster. And everybody kept saying, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying. Meanwhile, the monster is, where's the baby oil in the butt plug? Let's go! And just last summer, a young woman who's a CC here on YouTube, goes by the name Love Jones, was allegedly drugged and almost assaulted by the Combs boys. See what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to accept the truth, more people were hurt by that lie. How many of them wished y'all had to believe me sooner? See what I'm saying? It's bittersweet for me because I'm speaking for them. It's bittersweet. I'm just praying that they will keep him in, because I think that will give a lot of victims the courage to say and speak and come forward. But until they're good for it, I'm gonna keep doing it. The Jay-Z victims are gonna be worse. They're worse because of the psychological torture that comes along with what he does. Like I said,
do you think Jay-Z is scared right now?
oh, he's terrified. He's terrified. He's losing confidence everywhere. But the only confidence he's worried about keeping secure are those white boys that he worked for. That's his only loyalty. Not even to his wife is he loyal.
What do you think? And just again, hypothetically, if if his kids, as young as they are, asked, "Daddy, who's that man on TV getting arrested? Isn't that your friend?" What would his response be?
He wouldn't respond. He would just laugh and walk away. That's
Mm.
Sean Carter. He doesn't own up to anything. Ever. Gaslight you right in your face. Do it smooth. He's a sociopath. He doesn't have any real feelings or emotions. Everything is transactional. You know? I think the only time he's really comfortable and happy in his own skin is when he's laying in the warm embrace of a man.
Jack, come on. Jack,
What?
come on, man. You can't paint those kind
What?
of pictures into people's heads, man.
Why it got painted in the mind with the videotape that I saw of him looking very happy in the embrace of a man.
Now you might be thinking, why aren't more people speaking up? Well, that's the million-dollar question. Some folks are probably scared. You know how it is in this industry. One wrong move and your career could be over. But others, they might be waiting for the right moment to strike. Jaguar opened the floodgates, and now everyone's wondering who's going to be brave enough to jump in next. And let's talk about those industry insiders, the ones who always seem to know everything before it hits the news. They're whispering that Jaguar is just the tip of the iceberg. There are rumors flying around about other artists who had run ends with Diddy over the years, and some of these stories are wild. We're talking stuff would make even the most hardcore gossip lovers blush. But here's what's really got people talking: the idea that this could be bigger than just Diddy. Jaguar's comments about how the music industry operates have folks looking at other big names sideways. People are starting to ask questions about how things really work behind the scenes. It's like Jaguar pulled back the curtain, and now everyone's wondering what other secrets are hiding in the shadows. The crazy thing is, this whole situation might end up changing the game. You've got people who've been quiet for years suddenly feeling bold enough to speak up. It's like Jaguar gave them permission to tell their own stories. And if more people start talking, girl, we might be looking at a whole new era in the music industry. So what's next? That's what everyone's dying to know. Will more artists come forward with their own stories about Diddy? Will other big names in the industry start to sweat? Or will this all blow over in a few weeks when the next big scandal hits? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the industry is never going to be the same after this.
Wow. Well, with that being said, the world is seeing, the world is hearing, and the world is on notice. I mean, the world is going to say the name Jaguar Wright, given to by your father, probably for a while going forward.
As long as that name stands for truth, justice, and bravery, I don't care. My name isn't even my name anymore. It's a symbol. When people hear my name, it inspires immediate emotions and responses. I stopped being a person the second I decided to do this. I'm an institution for justice. And when people hear the name Jaguar, they know it stands for that. So I hope that name goes farther than me.
Oh, yeah.
I hope everyone becomes a little Jaguar,
It may become synonymous with truth, justice, and
Cruelty free.
yeah, for sure.
Hard.
For sure.
Where was cruelty free for Bashir?
Mm.
I wish I could have had cruelty free up and running.
Mm.
Even if it's just for his sake.
Yeah.
Him, Giovanni, and Bobby Christina. And he's the only one left, and this is what's left.
Mm. Definitely, yes. We have to pay attention. We have to take notice. So with that being
I
said,
can't
Jack,
every time I'm sorry.
no, understandable.
That poor kid.
Understandable. With that being said, Jay, let's have this moment. Let's take a quick recess. I want you to, of course, take some time. We'll have a quick recess. We'll come right back to you in a second, okay? But again, thank you for the bravery.
Thank
you,
you
Jack.
for your bravery. Truth is, if y'all had known what we was getting into, you probably would have said we cool when the interview.
Right.
Isn't it God? Isn't it just like God? You know, I love y'all.
This Jaguar and Diddy drama is getting wilder by the minute. Jaguar's out here spilling all the tea, and Diddy's reputation is taking hit after hit. But you got to wonder what's next for these two. For Jaguar, this could be her big moment. She's got everyone's attention. But will it translate to more opportunities or just more drama? As for Diddy, he's facing some serious charges. If he beats this, can he bounce back, or is his empire about to crumble? This whole mess has people asking some real questions about the music industry. How many other secrets are hiding behind those platinum records? Are we finally seeing a shift where people feel safe speaking up? What do y'all think? Is this the end of an era or just the beginning of a bigger shakeup? The streets are talking, and we're all ears.